What you gonna do when they come for you?
Bad boys, bad
When
boys.
they come for you. Bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when
he
groom
fluffs on you?
when he grooms for you?
When he grooms for you.
When he grooms for you. 5 hugs from Taebyn. Anyway, let's see where we are. 5 hugs from Taebyn. Let's see. You know, I was in the grocery store.
2 recordings?
We do have 2 recordings, and I was in the grocery store the other day.
You did.
I did, and a jar of mayonnaise fell off the shelf and almost hit me, and I was like, "What the hell, man? What the Hellman mayonnaise?"
That's a mayonnaise.
It's a mayonnaise. Hellman's brand.
I don't know. Okay.
There you go.
Did you just do that? You just did that.
What did I just do? What did I do? What did I do? Wait a minute. That's what did I do? There we are. And I want to ask you something, Taebyn.
Oh, okay.
If the internet had boats, where would they keep them?
In the boat shop?
No, they would keep them in the Google Docs, of course.
Oh my cow!
Yeah.
You know, I learned something the other day, and I know the name from this. I know the name of all the men who dig dirt for a profession. They are all named Doug.
Doug, Dig Doug, yes.
That's all I got.
That's all you've got. Maybe we should just roll the music and get going, shall we? Roll the music.
Off the show.
Moobarkfluff, hello, greetings, bienvenue, and welcome to all the creatures in the Potiverse. I am Barely Normal, your captain on this rocky voyage, and with me is my number 1, my first lieutenant, Taebyn.
Oh.
How the fluff are you, Taebyn?
Well, hi.
Hi.
I am okay. It's been a really busy week, but it's been good. Everything's just been good and doing stuff. And even though it's been really busy, I actually did have time to prepare for the recording tonight. Unlike that one
I'm so
fateful
excited.
time. Yes.
I'm so excited that you prepared for the recording.
I know. Yes. And I had my second jabby arm booster yesterday. Yay. And
Jabby arm?
Jabby arm, the COVID booster thing.
Oh! I was just like,
arm.
what are you getting a booster for jabby arm? What is that? It's like
I don't even know what that is.
Is that like stinky toe? I don't understand.
Something like that.
Norb, it's your toe.
You don't think it's
Stinky toe, the rare and incurable disease that afflicts only beavers.
And,
jabby arm. Jabby arm.
I got jabby arm day. And so this was the bivalent one. I didn't feel as bad as after the others when I was just kind of in bed, out and in all day. Today I was...
Wait a minute. This is the bivalent or bivalent? And so are you ambivalent towards this bivalent?
Very much so.
I'm sorry. There was a long stretch for a joke. I apologize.
You have been listening to me talk way too long, Barely. This is going bad. We've got to stop this.
It's the ambivalent. No, okay. Go on.
It's the Chardonnay. I don't know.
It's the Chardonnay.
But today wasn't as bad as the other ones. I feel a little weak, sore, and fatigued today, but other than that, I'm fine. And it took the nurse person, just a little bit longer to do the actual shot because, she had to find the right spot through all my fur, and she's not used to having to go through fur. But it worked out very well. And I have to say, good. So shout out to Atheist from the Further Confusion chat. He says exfoliation.
Exfoliation. Okay. Which is a previous foliation. It's X.
It's X.
It's X. It's exfoliated. That's like an expert. You know what an expert is?
A spurt that happened before?
Well, I mean, a spurt is a drip under pressure, so an expert is a former drip under pressure. An expert. Expert. I hear the crickets. They're so loud. Oh, I got it.
I'm just waiting for the crickets too.
They're just so loud in the background. Anyway, I have to ask you a question before you get to your 5 quick puns. Did your abacus arrive?
It did. It's right here.
Oh, look. It's an abacus.
It is.
Okay, so let me see it. Stop rattling it. Okay, so it's got 1 bead above the bark and 4 beads below the bark. Okay, very cool. Very
and
cool.
17 vertical rods. If any of you furs heard me talk about abacus last week, 17 is the standard, and they have a whole bunch, like big, huge ones. But I got the standard 17.
So, have you become Asian?
No, I'm becoming a little Japanese. I really think so.
I'm
turning Japanese. I think I'm turning Japanese. I really think so.
A little Japanese, you think so? I thought maybe you become a secret Asian man, or is that secret agent man? Sorry. Well, isn't there a Weird Al secret Asian man?
Secret Asian man, secret Asian man. A Chinese Austin Powers on a mission for Chairman Mao.
I'll have to look that up. I don't know, because there's a song called Secret Agent Man, but I thought he had a song called Secret Asian Man. But
I mean,
that might be a different parody.
That may be a different parody. We already have a past today for next time.
That's absolutely wonderful. So I see in the show notes that you have 5 quick puns. So
I do, but before I do that, I want to talk about not a challenge for furs, but a challenge for me.
Oh, a challenge for you. You're going to challenge yourself.
Well, we both
That's
are.
nice.
I and you. You're going to have you're going to participate in this challenge.
Oh, am I now?
Yes.
Okay.
So there has been quite a bunch of math that I've done that has bored you. Like I've watched you just like fall asleep while I'm talking about it. So, so the challenge for me and kind of for you is to come up with a math that bored you and let me know, and I'll try and liven it up. That's my challenge to myself.
A math that bored me that you're going to liven up. All right, I'll dig into that a little bit.
I don't actually know what I've just done to myself, but I thought, hey, why not?
I don't know.
Oh, yes. You have a bunch of those little tapey thingies that stick together.
Well, they're little sticky notes that are
they're stuck together,
stuck together,
interwoven. They're ribbons that have been interwoven.
They're woven Rubens, wobbins, fubbins. So what are your 5 quick puns?
Okay, yes, let's actually just do that. 5 quick puns. My friend is losing his mind over missing.
We are so far off the rails already.
I don't think we even started on the rails.
I don't even the rails. The train was like next to the rails. Couldn't even go anywhere.
It didn't even go anywhere. It's just sitting there. So
anyway,
my friend is
you have a friend?
I do not, but if I did, I would say that he's losing his mind over missing a piece of his 5,000-piece puzzle. If he thinks that's bad, I'm missing 4,999 pieces. My boss has threatened to fire the employee with the worst posture. I have a hunch. It might be me. When I was little, my parents always fed me alphabet soup, claiming that I would like it, but they were just putting words in my mouth. The broom was late for the meeting because it overswept. I'm on a plane and the lunch choices are white meat chicken or German sausage. Unfortunately, I'm seated in the last row, so I'm hoping for a breast, but preparing for the worst.
Oh, dun dun dun.
And that's that.
That's the. Was that more? I thought that was more than 5. That sounded more than 5.
It's actually 5. It was a big one this time. Yeah.
I like the hoping for a breast, but preferring for the worst. I love that. That's cute.
I like that. I thought I was just going to end on that one because that's pretty good.
that was very cute. That was very cute. So the past today, I have nothing. We already talked about your abacus. So do you have any past?
I do.
That you would like to talk about today?
I would like to talk about it. Yes. So.
Yes.
One, just a shout out to last week when in the past today I had noted from season 3, episode 27 that I was supposed to send you an ugly Santa mug picture. I haven't done that yet, so this is kind of a reminder of me to do that.
I know that, yes.
My honey did send me a picture of like some of the collection, so I have it. I just have to do it. I also mentioned last time that I still need to talk about rhodey propagation, and I still have yet to do that. So that's
And that is rhododendron propagation, not rhodey propagation, which are people that move stuff around on rock teams or on rock bands. Roadies.
Oh, roadies, yes.
Because those kind of roadie propagation is very simple. They go to the back room.
They pick up a speaker and bring it out.
Yeah, and they propagate. Yes,
we just did it. That was amazing.
That's simple. It's very simple. That's how roadies propagate. They propagate into the stage. Yes.
And then that's why you can never get onto the stage because there's a gate there. So
that's right. Yes, propagate.
So next pass today I have. Did you find out what Pernuvendunk means?
I did not, and it's on my little sticky note to look up, but I haven't looked it up.
Okay. We already have some things built up for next week.
I know we got a Christmas episode coming up, so maybe your Christmas mug episode picture should be at the Christmas episode.
Be on that. There you go.
Yes.
Last time, I had an incomplete pass today in which I was trying to, because what was it? Last episode of last season, we were confused as to who was a furry and who wasn't. That was on our guest. And last week I had gotten halfway there. I found out which episodes they are. This week, I have the answers.
Well, what are the answers? Please tell us. Tell everyone, we're waiting with bated breath. Worms on our tongues.
Worms on our cow. Ian Keller from season 2, episode 25, is a furry and was a furry at that time.
Okay.
Katie Edwards, season 2, episode 4, was the one that's not a furry, but we talked about what his persona would be if he was. And if any of you first want to know, you're just going to have to listen to season 2, episode 4. And season 2, episode 1 was when we had Matt Baum on, and he is and was a furry.
So is and was a furry. Okay, well, there you go. Everybody knows now that all our guests are furries.
Except for Katie
even those
Edwards.
that weren't.
Even those that weren't.
Well,
that were,
even those that weren't are now. So that's important.
They've been on our show. They have to be. I mean, duh.
That's right.
I have one more pass today, and it concerns the abacus.
Well, let us hear it.
So last week, of course, I talked about the abacus and how to count and how to add on an abacus. And so I'm continuing from last time. One thing that we weren't sure was, what is the plural of abacus? It turns out it's either abaci or abacuses.
Oh.
You can use either one. Like, it depends on the day, I guess.
Silly raisins.
I know. And
raisins?
Also raisins.
Raisins.
That's when Scooby goes and eats grapes in China. He's got raisins.
Ruby? Ruh-roh, Raggy. We got raisins. Raisins. Oh, wow. I should not have had 3 scotches before we started this podcast.
Do you have some friends from like overseas visiting? Because you had 3
Yes, I have 3
Scotches.
Scotsmen visiting.
Nice.
They're all in their kilts downstairs. Yes,
okay.
That's all they're wearing is a kilt.
That's all. That's all.
That's
You
it.
don't
Just
need
3
anything
kilts.
else.
No, why would you?
And also, when I was talking about abacus, I was talking about how there are like 7 to 33, but we noted there are only odd number of rods. And we were like, why is that? And
why is that?
I have actually not been able to find out yet. I've looked and
really?
They say they're only an odd number, but it doesn't say why. So I'm going to have to continue digging on that one. And also, last time, as I mentioned, I talked about counting and addition, but I hadn't gotten to how to multiply on an abacus. So I said next time, I'll talk about how to multiply on an abacus. And so now I'm going to talk about it.
Okay, let's hear. How do you multiply on an abacus?
It's very complicated, and I'll leave it at that.
Okay. All right. Well, there you go.
That's my pass today.
Very complicated. It's complicated to multiply.
I'll hopefully have time to do that. But
rattle it some more. Let's our ape. There you go.
Oh, it's for the ABET people or the
ASMR.
ASMR people, right?
That's right.
Not ABET. That's like a channel like after Nickelodeon or something. I don't know.
It's the ape. What?
I don't know.
Channel after Nickelodeon? What? I don't know what you're...
Oh my cow, the rails have not existed?
They're like 15 miles away from us at this point. The train is just sitting there trying to move, and it can't. It's just digging into the dirt.
Does Rain get to edit this one?
No, I get to edit this one.
Oh, yay, okay, good.
Yeah. So the funny thing, normally we would go into that's just stupid right now. Mm-hmm. But the problem thing is, it finally happened. No stupid things happened this week.
Well, that's just stupid right there. So that's the one stupid thing that happened this week.
I know.
Wow.
What was really funny is, here's the thing. The litter box thing was not in the news at all this week.
Really? Because that was the only thing I had for just stupid was, did we have a litter box thing in the school? And we did not?
No, we did not.
Are people actually learning?
I don't know. Well, I'm gonna back the truck up a little bit and say, yeah. Well, there was something that happened, and that's just stupid. The stink bug announced his presidency candidacy again.
Oh, that's
just stupid.
That's just stupid.
And anybody that knows who we're referring to as the stink bug is a good longtime fan of ours.
Yes, so, or at least has seen my story time at cons or something. In any case, you get many hugs with pausies for that one. Yeah.
But so I thought it was funny on that particular. I watched the stink bug speech.
Did it hurt?
I watched it. It hurt a little bit. So here's the funny thing. So about halfway through, CNN broke away. They just stopped airing it. They're just like, okay, we're done. Fox News Network waited until about 45 minutes in, and they broke away. Which is like Fox News is like his
thing.
Big thing. Yeah, it's like so they even broke away.
I made a note. I'm gonna have to see this.
So come to find out that people that were there were trying to leave during his speech, and his staff actually blocked the doors and would not let people leave.
Oh my cow! So this was yesterday's
Tuesday.
Tuesday.
It was Tuesday.
Which
Tuesday
was
the 15th.
15th. So
of November.
all you furs, if you want, I'm going to have to watch this just because this sounds exciting and hilarious. So on November 5th, his speech on November 15th, 2022, go take a listen and then write in and let us know what you think about that. That's amazing.
Yeah, I mean, even his daughter has said on social media that she's done with her father.
Oh,
like,
really?
I'm done. I'm not going to be in politics anymore.
I don't want Cheetos anymore. Yeah. Nope.
No more Cheetos. No more stink bugs.
Too much.
I'm done. Yeah. It's like,
I saw a thing the other day. Actually, I forget he was talking on some interview thing. This was like a week ago, and the title of the thing that I watched was Trump said the most Trumpy thing he has ever said. And they had a clip of him saying it. And what was it? I forget what it was about, but it was something about if they were all, if all of them were all correct and right about this thing. And Trump, and so they asked, what are your thoughts about that? Would you take credit either way if they were right or wrong about this thing? And Trump said, if they were all right about it, then I take full credit. If they were all wrong, then it's their fault. He said that.
Right. Yes. I remember that. It's like, really? Well, if they were right, I take credit. If they were wrong, it's not my fault.
Very Trumpy. Very Trumpy of him to say.
Very Trumpy. All the little trumpets. It's just so.
The little trumpets playing their little clarinets.
Trumpets. Yes. So, let's see. I'm reading the show notes that you have science farts. Oh, no, facts.
I have a joke first.
Oh, a joke first and then farts. Okay. Science farts. I thought it said farts, but it says facts. But
the rails are still like they're 20 miles away.
It's like they're 20 miles away now, yes.
Okay. Well, so a joke. I would like to tell you a joke, Barely. Would you like to hear a joke?
I would love to hear a joke because I need some laughter in my life.
I know you have none. I feel so bad for you. So
that's what the priest has.
Wait, do that again?
You said, yeah, I have none. I said, no, that's what the priest
has.
That's
what the priest, yes.
The priest has none.
None.
Anyway.
The boss of a big company needed to call one of his employees about an urgent problem with one of his main computers. He dialed the employee's home phone number and was greeted with a child's whisper. Hello? It says. Well, he's, of course, feeling a little bit put out at the inconvenience of having to talk to a youngster. The boss says, is your daddy home? And the youngster says, yes, in a small voice. May I talk with him? To his surprise, to the boss, the small voice whispered, no, Like, okay.
Okay.
So he's a little unhappy about this, of course, but he wants to talk to an adult. So he says, well, is your mommy there? Yes, came the answer. Well, may I talk with her? And again, the voice said, no. Okay. So he's a little frustrated about this, of course. But of course, he realized that they're not just going to leave like a young child alone without someone to watch after him. So he says, is anyone there besides you? The boss says, yes, a policeman. And so, yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So the boss is like,
right.
I'm wondering about this now. And so he says, okay, well, can I talk with a policeman? No, he's busy, the child says. Okay, busy doing what? Talking to daddy and mommy and the fireman, came the little voice.
Okay.
He's thinking, wow, fireman, wow. So he's concerned, frustrated, and a little worried now about all this. And he says, and he hears a noise, and he says, what's that noise? And the little child says, a helicopter. And he says,
A helicopter, okay.
the helicopter. And the boss says, what is going on over there? And he's like alarmed at everything that's going on, of course. And the little voice says, the search team had just landed the helicopter. And wow. And so the boss is like frustrated and concerned. And he's got all these questions and frustrations and
Of course,
confusion.
yes.
And he's like,
Yes.
why are they there? And the little voice says, they're looking for me. I thought you might like that, actually.
I like that. They're looking for me. Yes.
It was good. It was good. I like it.
Speaking of that,
Yes.
so years ago when I was probably 16, 17 years old, my voice at the time sounded identical to my father's voice.
Oh, it wasn't just like, oh, you sound like your father. It was exactly.
It was exactly. I
Oh,
mean,
wow.
voice inflection is the whole bit.
Oh, wow.
And to the point where my father's boss would call every once in a while to the
yeah.
house, and I would answer the phone, and I would say, hello. And he's like, hi, Bill. I'm like, no, this is Mike. Oh, I thought it was your father. No, sorry. So it's like I'd get Dad on the phone, blah, blah, blah. So this went on several times. And one time, the phone rang, and it answered, and Dad answered the phone.
Oh.
And Dad said, hello. And the boss said, hi, Mike, I need to talk to your father. And my father said, well, this is Bill. He's like, no, I know it's Mike. I can tell the difference now. You're Mike. You're not your father.
Oh, that's awesome. That's totally awesome.
And so my dad, I mean, and I'm sitting in the living room when he answers the phone, right? And I'm looking at him. He's rolling his eyes. So he holds the phone away from his head, and he says, Dad, your boss is on the line. And waits about 3 seconds. It picks up, hello. And so my dad's boss totally thought that Dad was me. And then when Dad finally came online, he's like, I knew that was your son. He was just effing with me. I was like, I was like, oh my
that's
God.
funny.
Okay.
That's
so,
hilarious.
yeah. So on the phone thing, I don't know why that came into my brain, but when you talked about the phone call. What are your science facts? We're like all over the place on this episode, which is fine.
No, I can't wait to
Which is
hear
fine.
what like
Which-
Rain and Ziggy and others think about it. It'll
Say
be
about
exciting.
this one, yes. It's like,
Yeah, I should make a note. Like what thing?
we've gone long enough that we can do whatever the hell we want. So
and
whatever.
we are. And I still have a note. Season 3, episode
Yes.
25 was
Yes.
like we both were like we got done and like, wow, that was stupid. Holy cow,
Yes.
that was stupid. And I have a note to put a poll in the chat. What did he think about the very stupid season 3, episode 25? I still
that
have
was 6
yet to
episodes
go
ago,
back and
so,
listen
yeah.
to it myself. But
Okay.
so all you furs out there, listen to
Well, this
season
one
3,
ranks right
25.
up there with that one. So, you know,
I think so.
I think so.
I'm going to add it to the list of what did he think about.
What
So
did you
I have
think?
2 science facts. And
Okay.
these are true. I'm just going to go on record right
They're
now
not
saying
science
these are
farts.
true.
They're science facts. Yes.
And they're true. It's not like I'm leading up to some, because, you know, I do that sometimes.
some
And you
really
never
bad
know.
joke. Because you do that once in a while,
I
yes.
do. I've had a
Yes.
lot of people in the past, like, few weeks say that. It's like, you know, Taebyn, I actually had no idea if what you just said was going to be true or not. But anyway, so I'm just going on record now, just so we know the next 2 things, they are
Yes.
true.
They are true. True things.
So I was talking to my honey, and you know, my honey likes plants and everything, and for whatever reason, the
For
question
whatever reason,
came
he
up.
likes plants, but good, yes.
Huh?
You said my husband likes plants for whatever reason. I was like, okay, so he likes plants for whatever reason. He likes plants. Okay,
That's the reason. Yes.
whatever. I don't know why he likes plants, but whatever.
But
you know.
whatever. Oh my cow. Whatever.
I need more Chardonnay.
Oh, please do. Oh my cow.
All right. Anyway, go on. Go on. These science facts.
And
Plants.
so we were wondering why leaves change color and fall off the branches. And it turns out,
yes.
as night length increases, chlorophyll production slows, then stops. And then eventually all the chlorophyll is destroyed, and then the leaves fall off. And that's why they change color and fall off. And so that's that one science fact right there. And what's interesting is, so that was this morning, we were in the car or whatever, and we were talking about this, and I wanted to make a note. So I have, like this big, huge phone for my posies, because my posies have fur and stuff, so it's hard to push things. But, so I was making a note. Huh?
Is it a jitterbug?
It doesn't dance, if that's what you mean.
Okay, no, there's a phone for elderly that just it's really big and it has big numbers, and it's called the jitterbug.
I have to write that down. I actually want to look that up now, actually.
Yeah.
That's actually adorable. I did not know that.
Yes. Yes.
So I was trying to make a note, typing in to make a note for myself to remember to say that on the show tonight. And immediately autocorrect did its thing, and it auto-corrected to Chipotle feet.
Chipotle feet.
I have no idea where. I mean, I started typing CHL for chlorophyll.
Right, and Chipotle
all of a
came
sudden
up.
got Chipotle feet. I didn't even know Chipotle had feet, but there it is.
I don't know. It's like, that must be stinky.
It
smells like Mexican feet.
Smells like Teen Spirit.
And also, like Teen Spirit.
It really, really, really does.
Yes.
So my other sciencey fact, which is really interesting.
Yes.
So oak trees are smart, it turns out. So, and this has happened around, there's, lots of oak trees around. I know, you don't believe me, but it's true. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
So
all right.
There's lots of oak trees around where I live. And this was about probably, I don't know, several years ago or something. One particular year, like all the oak trees, like threw down a ton of acorns, like a ton. Literally, there was probably a few inches on the ground of acorns just all over. And it doesn't usually do that. I mean, you get acorns, but it's like not that much. We've never seen that much.
Right.
And it's only that year. It has not happened since then. It turns out that this is a thing that happens. A bunch of oak trees will overproduce acorns in a certain year. They all do it that particular year. The purpose is because animals like deer and squirrels and birds eat acorns throughout the year. So in order to make sure that there were still seeds for more trees, i.e. that animals didn't eat them all, all of the oak trees overproduce. And that's smart. And it's not every year. It's like, how do they know this is the year that we will all overproduce? Like, how do they know?
Right.
It's amazing.
How do they know? Yes.
So,
how do they know?
I don't know, actually. And
you didn't look it up to find out? Oh, wow.
No, well, there's a past day for next time.
There you go.
But Honey
How
and
do
I
the oak
both don't
trees
know.
know to overproduce? Yes.
Yeah. So those are my two science facts.
All right. Well, let's get into our section that we like to call media. All right. So I've been actually watching a lot of stuff for the last week.
You've been busy.
I know. I've been bored. So that's why I've been watching a lot of stuff. So I finally started and finished all of season 4 of Stranger Things.
Oh, you just binged it, like in one day?
I binged it in 2 days.
2 days, nice.
Going through. Yep.
And what do you think about it, season 4?
It's almost like a reboot. It's almost like they took all the characters and reintroduced them all and made them better because they're all older.
Yeah,
and they took an extra year off because of COVID. So all the kids are almost
like
adults
17
now.
or 18 now. Yeah.
Right. It's like, and ugly as sin. I mean, there is not a good looking kid in this show. They're all ugly.
Okay, I hate to say this, but I'm glad you say that because I also agree they're not very attractive. But I just have to say, since you said it, I'll say it too. So now it's official.
Well, but what's interesting about that is it makes the show more real.
It does.
Because it seems like they're real people instead of,
glamour,
really good-looking actors. Yeah. So,
it's true.
I mean, even Winona Ryder is not a pretty person. I mean, she's very famous, but she's not pretty.
She does a good job with her stuff, and that's why we love her.
She does a good job with her stuff. With the tools she has, she does okay. I mean, it's like...
Yeah, exactly. For whatever reason.
For whatever reason. So I watched 2 episodes of a Netflix documentary called Ancient Apocalypse.
Oh, my.
Now, it's very interesting because it's not like, it's not like the Ancient Aliens where they're like, why could this be this way? It must be aliens.
Oh,
no.
Yeah.
This is a journalist who's not an archaeologist, who's not a scientist. And he looks at all the facts of things when it comes to archaeology and ancient type, megalithic structures and things like that. And he looks at that from a journalistic standpoint and says, the basic archaeological norms can't apply because this is not factual.
Oh.
So, for example, a society did not wake up one morning and all of a sudden say, we're going to build a pyramid.
Oh,
no, it doesn't happen that way.
It doesn't work that way. Okay.
It doesn't work that. It's like if you and I woke up tomorrow morning and said, let's build a floating airship.
Fluffy Moo airship.
It doesn't work that way. Yeah, it doesn't work that way. It has to happen over time.
There's a little bit of pre-cognition involved.
Right. And so he's been vilified in the media because he's not a scientist and he's asking all these questions and it goes against the archaeological science, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But it's all very logical. It's like he presents these facts and you're like, wow, that makes sense. So if you're interested, it's called Ancient Apocalypse. It's on Netflix. It's very good. I have to say it's very good.
Okay. Ancient Apocalypse. I'll write that down.
Yeah. I also started a series on Paramount+.
I want to say really quick,
sure.
Since you're on that, it's interesting how you introduce that about how, trying to explain things that you can't explain. Well, it must be aliens. It's interesting you say that because just yesterday, the South Park episode I watched was the one where they're talking about Thanksgiving and how Thanksgiving started, and on the History Channel, they're saying, "Oh, well, we think that the Native Indians were aliens. It turns out that that's true and everything." And so I just happened to watch that.
Yeah.
And then at the very end of the episode, after it's all been, well, it's not debunked because like Kyle ends up proving it, but accidentally. But in the very end, they're watching the History Channel again, and then they're like, well, it turns out that not only were they aliens, but there were poltergeists living with them. And they show pictures of like ghosts and stuff. And that's how the episode ends. And Kyle's like, what? It was really funny. Anyway, so you've also been watching.
I also started a series on Paramount Plus called Blood and Treasure. Now, it was one of those things where I was searching for because I wanted to watch the very new episode of Yellowstone.
Oh, is the new season out?
The new season is out on Paramount.
Wow.
Yes.
Okay. Good to know.
But it's not out on Paramount Plus, which makes no sense because Paramount Plus means I should get everything from Paramount plus other things.
Not subtract. Plus.
Right. Plus.
I'm watching Paramount Subtract.
So clearly that's what I'm watching is Paramount Subtract because I had to upload the Paramount app in order to watch Yellowstone.
That doesn't
when
make any
I should have been
sense.
able to watch it on Paramount Plus.
Yeah.
I mean, Paramount Plus should be Paramount
plus
other stuff. Yes. Not, like you said, not Paramount. But anyway, I watched the first episode of Yellowstone and it's way good. But while I was digging for that, that's where I came up with this show called Blood and Treasure. It was one of those things that kind of popped up all of a sudden. I was like, oh, that looks interesting. Yeah. It's kind of like Indiana Jones meets Nicolas Cage in National Treasure.
Oh, those are two extremes.
They're very, very extreme. It's like, it's like Indiana Jones and they're
they got
archaeologists
the
and going through
similar
this stuff.
stuff,
It's like, so, and then National Treasure, same kind of a thing. He's like rating the different things for archaeological stuff. Yeah. But it's really good. I would have to say the main character, I really would have liked him to have cast Ryan Reynolds because it's perfect for Ryan Reynolds. It would have been a perfect show for Ryan Reynolds, but they went with an unknown. But it's a pretty good show, I have to say. Again, Blood and Treasure. And of course, every night when I go to bed, I turn on the 70s show, and that's what I've been watching.
Okay, nice.
How about you?
Productive
what about
week for you.
No, a boring week because I've been
right.
watching TV. Yes, if it was a productive week, I would have had nothing to talk about.
It's true. It's true.
Yeah.
That is very true. Yeah. So expand, no, that's Furries in the News. I have a Furries in the News that I almost divulged, so I will wait and not
don't
divulge.
Don't
yet.
do that. No. Yes.
I've been watching South Park for Lunchies. Obviously, I just mentioned.
Uh-huh.
We finished season 1 of Blockbuster. We talked about last week.
Yes.
And we like it. It's we want there to be a season 2. It's not the most amazing show ever, but it entertains us. Mm-hmm. So we did that. It ended on a cliffhanger.
Ooh. Oh no, not a cliffhanger.
And that's where you hang all your cliffs, of course.
I guess it's in the cliffhanger closet.
It's in it.
The Cliff closet. Yes.
Cliff's closet. Cliff, could you
Cliff's
get Cliff
closet.
out of the closet, please? Because he's way too in there. If you don't know what I mean.
He's way too in the closet.
Way in the closet.
Get him out of the
closet. We watched 2 movies actually. We watched Transporter Special Edition.
Really? Okay.
Have you seen the Transporter movies?
I have.
Yeah.
I didn't realize there was another one.
Yeah. I forget what year it is, but we really like the first 2, and so we watched this one. It's not as good as the first. It was entertaining. I didn't think it was good as the other 2. Honey fell asleep, so it that says something.
Okay.
So there's a raving review right there. And we also saw the movie The Man from 2005 with Samuel L. Jackson and Eugene Levy.
Really?
Yeah.
What's that about?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I'll tell you.
Please do.
Special Agent Derek Van, who is Samuel L. Jackson, is a man out to get the man who killed his partner. But a case of mistaken identity leads him to Andy Fiddler, who is Eugene Levy, a salesman with too many questions and a knack of getting in Van's way. And
okay,
it's as you can imagine, Eugene Levy and Samuel L. Jackson, very interesting and fun duo. I think. I mean, it's very.
I'll bet. Yeah.
I thought it was. It's worth a watch. It's not like the most amazing thing ever, but it's definitely, I think, entertaining and something to watch. It's only a normal hour and a half episode. Hour and a half hour episode? Yes. Hour
and a half hour episode.
But yeah, no, it was fun. I liked it. And Eugene Levy, he's great. And it's a typical Eugene Levy role. He does a great job being him, and it's great. That's what we've been watching. Now, a half hour before we were to record tonight, a pop-up came on my screen saying that Goat Simulator 3 is now out.
Goat Simulator 3.
There were 2 others of them apparently.
Apparently, yes.
So I thought that was
have you downloaded it to play?
Not yet, because that was just literally now it's been an hour ago. So literally, but that is definitely something I am going to download and play. And next week, hopefully I'll play it this week, and next week I'll report on Goat Simulator 3.
Goat Simulator 3.
For you can be
I
a goat.
have to look that up now.
I mean, it's just, I think you just have to look it up, even if nothing else, because this just sounds cool. Yeah, I don't even know anything about it because it's just a little pop-up. I use Steam and another app, and it's just one of those pop-ups that says, "Oh, now out, Goat Simulator 3," and it doesn't tell you anything about it. So now I'm going to have to play it. But so that's pretty good. I like it.
It's not like you've used Goat Simulator 1 and 2.
I haven't actually. So
clearly,
maybe I have to Google first and see. Is it okay if I play Goat Simulator 3 before 1 and 2?
Yeah, it might build on it. You might not know what's going on in Goat Simulator 3.
I mean, the kid might be all grown up now.
That's clearly, yeah, clearly.
And you want to know what transpired in its younger years to properly play the third one. Yeah, so.
That's right. That's right. That's right. All right. Have you got anything else for your media?
That is
before we get to.
I've been doing for media-ing this week.
Okay. Well, let's get to that section which you have something for and I have nothing. Furries in the news. I love the fact that you go to the side of your microphone as if that makes a difference.
I'll just say Furries in the news.
That's it? Okay.
That's it.
Okay. Can't even do anything more. Okay. So,
whatever I did.
Well, there you go. What is your Furries in the news, my furry friend? Get the spit off the microphone,
my
please.
Microphone. Yes. Yeah, now I have. Oh my cow!
You have to buy a new microphone before you short it out.
I know. Might not even finish this episode.
Right?
Before I short it out. So this is expanding from last week. So you might remember last week I talked about Taco the dog.
Yes.
And very, very, very awesome. I didn't have much to say about it because I had just seen it just like, again, day of. So now I thought I'd expand on it just a little bit. Really, really cool. So Taco the dog is a Japanese man had a dream since childhood of becoming an animal, and his dream has come true, and he became a collie. So he has this very, very nice collie quad suit. It's actually from Blast Incorporated, and what they do is they specialize in costumes and animatronics for movies. So he actually commissioned them for the suit. Wow. And the suit costed 2 million yen. That's $15,000.
Holy!
I mean, it is a very nice, holy pups indeed. It is a very nice little collie suit, though.
It's a very nice collie suit, but $15,000.
I mean, if you're going to make your dream come true, you better go big, I guess.
I guess. Wow, that's a lot of. That's a lot of dollars.
And so it's very, very, very cute. Any further that saw, we posted a link to one of the most recent videos. Last time, so you might have seen that. But you can go to their YouTube channel, which is actually I Want to Be an Animal. There's underscores between all those. Makes sense. Okay. And also you can just Google Taco, that's T-O-C-O, the dog, and it'll come up. And the YouTube channel...
T-O-C-O.
T-O-C-O. Yeah, Toko.
Not taco. Toko.
Toko.
Toko
in my soup.
Toko in my soup.
I don't know why. And they also have a Twitter, which is at Toko_EV, E-E-V-E-E. That's the Pokemon. So the YouTube channel has 10,000 subscribers, actually. Wow. The videos are very popular. One of the videos which is the first video, which is only 7 months ago, so this is really recent, has 2.4 million views.
Well,
yeah, that's quite amazing, and all the comments are very positive and supportive. It's positive. It's very cool to see that they're all like, "I'm so happy your dream came true. That's beautiful. That's wonderful. I loved when you were in the hammock. That was so cute and everything." And it's just very beautiful.
And this person is Asian, correct?
It's Japanese man. Yeah.
I wonder if he speaks English, because it'd be fun to get him on the show.
It would be. He might, because there are English well, maybe he didn't do the subtitles. There's English subtitles, but he might. And it would be very interesting, actually, to do that.
It would be interesting to talk to him about that. Yeah. We'll have to see about Rain getting him on the show.
There you go.
Of course, recording from Japan to here could be interesting. So
that could be difficult. Exactly.
Could be a challenge. It could be a challenge. But we have overcome greater challenges.
We have. So. I mean, we're still here somehow, and that's
a big challenge.
Big challenge right there. But
3 seasons, almost 4 now.
Almost 4. But it's very cool and beautiful. His dream come true. He's a collie. All the comments are just supportive, and it's just all the videos are just so cute and beautiful, and he's just a little doggy running around, and it made this it did bring a little tear to this puppy's eye to see that. So all you furs, go check it out, and tell us what you think about Toko, T-O-C-O, the dog. And
Toko the dog.
Furries in the news for the week.
All right. Well, since we're still on Furries in the news, let's get to our movie review from Chitaro.
Oh, okay.
And he's going to tell us all about the movie The Fox and the Hound from Disney.
I can't wait to hear about it.
Okay, joining us now is Chitaro doing a review for us. What movie are we reviewing today?
We are reviewing The Fox and the Hound. It's on Disney Plus. It's a 1981 cartoon, so that's what we're doing.
1981. That's the year I graduated from high school.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
It was 4 years after that.
There you go.
Yes. The interesting part is that I did not know this, but it is based on a book that was written in my birth year, 1967, by someone named Daniel P. Mannix. I did not know that it was a book. I always thought it was just a... So, piece of trivia
tell us all about
for
it.
all you furs out there. Mm-hmm. It starts in the woods with a fox, her kit, being chased by dogs, okay, or hounds, so to speak. So then what happens is an owl sees the mother fox set down her kit, and the mother fox runs away. And then all of a sudden, you hear gunshots and dogs barking. And of course, we all
know what happened there.
We all know what happens there. Thank you, Disney, for having this wonderful opening to movies. And then,
seems to be a thing they do with these older cartoon movies. Everything starts with a death.
For sure. And so the owl, whose name just happens to be Big Mama, starts talking with the kit, and the kit starts to rub against the owl, thinking, oh, look, the owl is going to try to take care of me now. But the owl has a couple of birds that are next to him called Dickie and Boomer. They help to decide where this little fox kit should go. So they take him to a woman's house where she takes him in, and she names the fox Todd, okay?
Todd.
Yeah, Todd.
Okay. Good name.
Yeah. Everybody needs a good name. Then what happens is there's a man that has a bag for his dog, and it turns out, or not a bag, has something for his dog. I can't even read my own writing. It turns out that he gives his dog a hunting dog or a puppy that they named Copper. And so the man tells the dog that this puppy is now his problem.
Okay.
Yeah, so the dog has to teach the puppy how to be a puppy. Yeah,
how to puppy.
Yeah. So Todd the fox is now living on this farm, and he starts a calamity in this farm, which is hilarious. I'm not going to tell you exactly what happens, but it's really funny. So this woman tells Todd the fox to go out and play somewhere. So he finds Dickie and Booma and asks if they want to play, but they're busy trying to catch some caterpillar, which is a recurrent theme throughout the whole movie, that these two birds are trying to catch this caterpillar. So Todd finds a butterfly and he starts to chase it. And that's when he ends up going in the neighborhood of where the two dogs are. And so the puppy, who was named Copper, smells something, and that's when he finds Todd the fox. So they decide that they're going to play hide and seek, and they become really good friends.
Okay.
So one day they decided to play, and they both agreed that they were going to be friends forever, because foxes get chased by hounds, so to speak, right? But they're going to be friends forever.
Yes, okay.
Well, then Copper's master, he got mad for Copper being away. So he ties Copper up, and when Todd goes to play with his friend, the old dog ends up chasing Todd, and then certain things happen where Todd ends up getting put on lock. He ends up getting tied up to a rope tied to a tree so that he won't go away. And so Todd ends up escaping to find his friend Copper, leaving, and at one point. And so the owl, Big Mama, explains, she says, education or elimination, basically. She basically explains that his friend Copper is going and getting trained to become a hunting dog, a killer.
Okay.
So that goes on for a little while, and then fall turns to winter, and winter turns to spring. And so Todd and Copper are now adults. And what ends up happening is there's there's another calamity that ends up happening, and then Todd and Copper's friendship comes into question because let's just say something major happened that turned their friendship around, and to say what it is would ruin the rest of the movie for all those furs out there who want to watch it.
Okay.
So that's basically the gist of The Fox and the Hound, and you could probably understand what ends up happening at the end, but like I said, I'm not going to tell you. But I am going to say that I give this movie 4 chirps. It was really
4 chirps.
Yeah, it was really entertaining, specifically since the voices were of people that I recognize, but unfortunately my brain can't remember. I think the big owl was Pearl Bailey. It was awesome, so to speak. Yeah, so it was a really fun movie, and it kept my attention, and I recommend all furs to go see it because it does give me the impression that just because you are 2 separate species, you can become friends and not have to worry about things.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
You heard it here, folks. 4 chirps for The Fox and the Hound from Chitaro, our wonderful movie reviewer. Do you have a movie in mind for the next time around?
I'm still trying to decide, but I'm torn between a couple of things, but I'll let it be a surprise for next time.
All right. Sounds like a plan. Thanks for coming on the show once again, and we look forward to your next review.
Sounds awesome. See you next time.
All right, so upcoming events. So here we have, I'm going to say this again, Futroloczki, which I learned how to pronounce in Polish, which is at the, yes, Futroloczki. It's December 1st through the 4th in Poland, in Krakow, at the Hotel Conrad. Hi, Conrad.
How are
Here's
you
your
doing?
Hotel. Yeah,
That sounds
December
like a cross
1st through the 4th.
between like Scottish and Polish is what you just did.
Right. It's the Hotel Conrad in Krakow, Poland. All right. Okay. I don't know what I'm talking about this. And then, of course, the same weekend, if you can't get to Krakow, Poland, you can go to the Midwest Fur Fest in Rosemont, Illinois. And then the following weekend, you can go to Furs Upon Malaysia 2022. Furs Upon Malaysia. Furs Upon Malaysia. Food around the corner. Food around the corner.
Don't forget your towel.
Don't forget to bring a towel.
Don't forget your towel. Remember Food Around the Corner? That was an old Warner Brothers, a little thing. Food around the corner. Food around the corner.
I can't say I know this. No.
All right.
There's food around the corner, food around the corner, food around the corner for me. Vroom, vroom, vroom.
Anyway, Furs Upon Malaysia, Food Around the Corner. December 10th through 11th. It's only 2 days, clearly, at the Hotel Armada Petraling Yaha in Petraling Yaha, Selangor, Malaysia. So there you go.
There you go.
And there you go. And then if you are available on the December 17th through the 18th, the week before Christmas, is Furcan 2022.
For sure can.
For can. Sure. It's at the Instituto Poblano, which is not a pepper, de la Juventud at Pueblo, Mexico. There you go.
Nice. I bet Paco Panda's going to that. We should reach out to him and have him come on the show and talk about his ventures.
We should
in Furcan.
We should find out first of all if he's going.
I think that's one of them he always goes to, but yeah, we should probably find out for sure first.
before we commit to him committing to coming on the show.
Come
and
on, what am I
going
to talk about? Oh, I don't know. So he comes on. It's like, so how was Furcan?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't go. Okay, thanks.
I
Bye.
didn't go. Thanks. Yeah, thanks for coming on the show. It's been great. Yeah. So all right, and those are the upcoming events. For the next couple
Oh, and I meant to
weeks.
say about Toko the dog, you can also, of course, Google Toko the dog, and there's like all these articles, like newspaper and stuff, articles about him. That's also very
really?
cool. Yeah, yeah.
Well,
It's
that's
not
cool.
just
That's very cool. Very cool. All right.
Oh, I
Would you
actually have something to ask you in regards to
Okay.
upcoming events.
Yes.
What do you think about these date changes that are happening? Like A&W is now next to FC for the next 7 years. BLFC is now in November next year, hopefully not the following years.
Yeah, it's very aggravating.
Yes.
Because you kind of have a schedule in your brain as to when you can go to different things, and then they change it.
And then
it's
they
like,
change it.
oh, it's like, okay. So
They're making it.
It's like
They're making it
very
very
difficult
difficult
to go.
for furs to go to cons.
Yes. Will we go to BLFC? I'd like to, but
We don't know.
it's a very treacherous drive. Yeah, I mean FC is treacherous enough because we go down I-5 in January, so there could be snow. But I-5 being a major road,
It gets traction and everything.
right, is a lot different than going to Reno in the winter. There is no way to get to Reno without going over a mountain pass.
I don't want to think of going through like Susanville and mountains and stuff.
I mean, all that stuff with snow and nasty weather is like,
not very useful. Yeah. So we'll see.
We'll see. We'll see. I mean, there is a way to. I mean, even if you go all the way down into California and then shoot over, you still have to go over a mountain pass.
You still go over mountains. I mean, there are mountains there.
There is no way to get to Reno without going over a mountain pass, without going through snow, and to have it in a snowy season. I mean, even last year when it was earlier in the year, there was still snow when people were leaving.
Oh,
and there was a lot of people that had problems.
That's right.
Yeah,
Wow.
people have a lot of problems leaving in October, and now they're going to do it later in the year. It's like, okay, well, yeah, that's my take on that. Yeah, it's like, I mean, yeah, we could fly, but it's even more expensive to fly.
Yeah.
I mean, you think of the cost of the hotel, the car rental, all that stuff. It's very, very spendy. Anyway.
Is there a airport near the GSR?
Well, it's the Reno airport. It's not too far away. I mean, if the first year we were there, actually, if you looked out the window that we were in the first year that we were there, you could see the airport.
Oh, really? Okay.
We haven't had a room on that side of the hotel since then. So.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. So
well, now we know.
There you go.
Okay. Yeah. Well, there is that. All you furs, if you have your take on these date changes of cons, let us know. We'd love to hear about them.
Yes. All right. So let's get to a little this or that, shall we?
Okay.
All right. And again, this is another episode I thought was going to take for not very much, but we're already filled up an hour, so here we go.
And it's kind of my fault. I had like a lot of things to say, and then there were rails that didn't even start here. I mean,
nope. Okay.
What was that?
Okay. So we are on the book of 3001 This or That's. We are on number 150.
We've got a ways to go.
Yes, season 3, episode. What are we on? Episode what? Episode what? What are we at? 31. Okay.
31, yeah.
Okay. Would you rather go to the beach during a hurricane or the mountains during a blizzard?
Probably mountains in the blizzard because I don't think I need hurricane to help me walk around.
Well, there you go. All right.
That was stupid. That was stupid.
That was dumb. And along that same line, the next one is: would you rather go to the beach in the winter or the frozen tundra in the summer?
How about the frozen tundra in the winter? Because I would like
in the summer.
A tundra in the summer because I would like a tundra of it. I don't know. That's stupid too. That was dumb.
So. That was dumb. But, here's the thing. So, beach in the winter is interesting because it depends on which side of the country you're on.
Oh.
So, like, if you're in Southern California, a beach in the wintertime is warm. Just like any other time of the year. You go to Florida in the wintertime, it's warm. You can go to the beach. But if you're in Washington State and you go to the beach in the wintertime, it's usually rainy and cold and nasty and miserable.
That is really funny because, like, Washington is just right up from California. What's going on there?
Well, so is Oregon. But Oregon beaches in the wintertime is kind of fun because you've got all the storms and you've got lots of rocky things that make the surf go sploosh.
Yes.
Sploosh. Anyway, all right.
Oh.
Okay, next question. would you rather be a queen leading a monarchy or a president leading a country?
I'm going to go with the queen thing because, like, the whole president thing these days is, don't get into it. Don't do it.
Yeah, good idea. Good idea. So Taebyn's a queen.
Queen
Taebyn.
You heard it here first. Bark, bark.
All right. Well, again, the next question is similar to that. Would you rather rule a superpower or rule a small country?
Well, what I have to say about that is everybody wants to rule the world.
Yes, they do. Well, not everybody. I don't want to rule the world. I don't care about the world.
I don't care about the world. Bah, humbug. It's a... Oh, I forgot to say in the media. How could I forget to say in the media? That reminded me.
Yes?
We started rewatching Will and Grace.
Oh, how do you like it?
Oh, well, I mean, we've seen the whole, like, every single season before, but we're rewatching it, and yeah, I mean, it's good. It's from 1998.
Yes,
I didn't realize it's that old, but yeah, it's really good. We watched the first disc, and then it gets better on the second disc. And I remembered about that before. It's the first disc, it's good, but like they don't really start getting into the groove till the second disc, the first season. So anyway, we're having fun rewatching all of that. My honey had that idea, like we finished whatever we were watching, and he's like, "Well, you keep saying that you have some Will and Grace around or something." So we started rewatching that, and it's
well, there you go. The last question is, would you rather be a monarch in the modern day or a monarch in medieval times?
Monarch in the modern day.
Okay, well, there you go. Monarch in the modern day. Monarch in the modern day. Sounds like a song. Monarch.
Is a type of butterfly that flies around when you eat with the seal sarcophagus fruit.
It does, and it is, and it was. And with that, do you, my furry friend, have any math for us?
I do.
Okay,
and you
well, let's hear the
it.
math. I inspired the math?
Yeah.
I'm math inspiration. Okay, let's hear the math.
Because last week you mentioned Klein bottles, and I forgot how it came up, but you mentioned it, and we've talked about it before. We've done a video on it and everything. But you mentioned it and you said maybe you should talk about it sometime. And I thought, hey, I'll just go ahead and talk about that.
Okay, well, let's hear about Klein bottles.
Let's hear about Klein bottles. So any fur that's interested, I'll talk about it now, but any fur that's interested in actually watching me talk about them and actually make some of the things I'm going to talk about, see my video on my YouTube called Mobius Strips and Klein Bottles. And my YouTube, for any fur that doesn't know, probably most of you, so let you all know. My YouTube is at Taebyn Pup. We'll put a link on the website so you can easily get there and whatever. Anyway,
yes.
Just search for Mobius Strips and Klein Bottles. It's one of in my math series videos. So you can watch me. I actually cut a thing and make a thing and stuff like that. Anyway,
and I'm pretty sure that if you only type in Mobius Strips and Klein bottles, there's maybe 5
actually,
videos that will
with
pop
that title, there's probably not that many actually. So it's pretty easy to find. So this is an object that can only be, quote unquote, properly seen in 4 dimensions. Barely mentioned that last week, and it is true. When you, quote unquote, immerse it, that's the actually mathy way to say it, when you immerse it in 3 dimensions, it looks like a bottle that intersects itself. And I actually have one of these, and I think on my video, I show you an actual glass Klein bottle immersed in 3 dimensions. So
yes, you do.
I do. I thought I remembered that. I remember it correctly. Yay. So here's actually how you make it. So first, let me take a step kind of back to a lower dimensional analog called a Mobius strip, because how you make a Klein bottle is similar. So how you make a Mobius strip is you take a rectangular piece of paper, and if you were to just tape the 2 ends together, just like so, you'd have like a circle, like a flat cylinder thingy. Mm-hmm. Now, if you, instead of just put them straight together, if you give it a 180-degree twist and then put them together and tape them together, you get what's called a Mobi strip. And this is something that exists in 3 dimensions that has only one side. If you watch my video, you can see me show you why it has only one side. But it's a thing you just made that has only one side and only one edge. And it exists. You kind of, when you hear these things, you kind of think, oh, wow, that's just math abstraction. But like, you can actually make this. So it's pretty cool. Now the Klein bottle, how you make that is very similar to a Mobi strip. But instead of starting with a rectangular piece of paper, you start with a cylinder. Like if you can think of the toilet, not the toilet. Well, that too. But think of the toilet if you have to go.
Toilet.
But also think of
the toilet, yes.
The towel core, and if it were bendy and stretchy. If you were to just take that bendy, stretchy towel core and connect both the ends, you would have a donut. The math thing is called a torus.
A torus or a donut. Yes.
Okay. So a hollow donut, right? Now,
a hollow donut.
If
Hello,
you were
donut.
to hollow donut, I didn't even know her.
Yeah,
it's my stepladder, I tell you.
I tell you.
So think about how you make the Mobi strip. You take the strip of paper and you put a 180-degree twist and you connect them. Same thing, but now with the cylinder, do a 180-degree twist, which you cannot visualize because you need 4 dimensions to visualize it.
Yes,
but if
you do need 4 dimensions. Yes,
But if you were to do that and then connect the ends, you would have a Klein bottle. And that's actually kind of why, when it's in 3 dimensions, why it intersects itself because of that twist.
Right.
Now, it's really interesting that so I mentioned that the Mobius strip has one edge. So if you take 2 Mobius strips, they both have one edge. What happens if you were to glue those 2 edges together? You actually get a Klein bottle.
Wow.
Dun, dun, dun. It's actually pretty cool. And that is what I wanted to say about Klein bottles. And there it is.
Now, you can buy a Klein bottle, but it looks more like and again, it cannot, a true Klein bottle cannot exist in our reality.
Right.
It can only exist in a reality that has 4 dimensions, which our reality does not.
That's very true.
But math allows us to suppose what it would be like in 4 dimensions.
So so math allows us to actually study these higher dimensional things, right?
Much like there was a book that you mentioned during the Klein bottle episode about Flatland.
Oh yes, by Abbott. Flatland, yeah.
Yes, which is a existing in a single a 1-dimension reality.
2-dimension, but yeah.
A 2-dimension reality. Yep. So if you read that book, it's interesting to read because it talks about a 2-dimensional reality, which we have look at my little winder thing. So and it's like, a finger touches down, but it's in 3 dimensions that's reaching into the 2-dimensional world, and all the people in Flatland are like, there's
some things out of nowhere.
Yes.
Blah.
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah. So
and these ideas are one of the ways that people explain the existence of God and omnipotence and stuff.
Yes. Well, omnipotence. I don't know about that. I don't understand. Omnipotence, which is many potence.
Many.
Omni means many. Potent means potent. So many potents. Anyway, I think we have gone long enough on today's episode. I was going to read a story from the Grimm's Fairy Tales, but we are way over an hour already. So before we close out our show for the week, I want to let our listeners know that next week will be a special Spotlight On episode with our good friend of the pod, Hey Esker.
Yay. Hey Esker.
So be sure to tune in next week and hear Hey Esker what he has to say. And of course, we are smack in the middle of the holiday season. It's the holiday smeezin. Smeezin? It's the smeezin. Smack. Thanksgiving is over.
Are you
and
okay
we
over
have-
there, Barely?
I don't know. I'm not sure what's going on anymore.
I don't
And we
either.
have just a few short weeks till Christmas Day shows up, and we have our Christmas episode coming out. We have our stuff like next week. We are taking a break because next
Hey, Esker.
Thursday is Thanksgiving, and we have Hey Esker already in the
That's
can.
right. Yep.
So we don't have to gather together to make a recording for next week, which is very exciting.
It is
And-
exciting because we've been doing this. We've mentioned this, but we have been doing this. Literally, it's not like we do a whole bunch of episodes at once and then like release them 1 week at a time, and we take 3 months off or something. Every single
No.
week for the past 2.5 years. No,
Yes.
sorry, 3.5 years.
Yes.
We've been doing
No,
this.
2.5. 2.5. We're on
Okay, so
season
we're in
3.
season 3. Yeah,
Yes,
off by 1.
2.5
Yeah, so
years.
2.5 years.
Yes.
Every single week we've been doing this, and when we've had a guest, it's twice a week because we record the
Yep.
guest on a different day. And
Yep.
the fact that Barely has put up with this pup for so long, so it's really really quite amazing. So next
Really
time
quite
you see
amazing. But-
Barely at a con, make sure to give him a consolidatory hug with pauses because he needs it.
There you go. All right. Well, Taebyn, I want to say that it's been great having you on the show once again. And I'm going to say Moobarkfluff, stay furry. Taebyn, take us out.
We are going out to places beyond imagination, but also we are going to close the show now, and I'm going to say bye, believe it or not. So thank you very much for all you Furries that are listening and supporting us in just doing that, just listening, and we hope we entertain you. We hope you learn stuff. There were some science facts today. There was a little kid that was trying to be found, and that was fun. So all kinds of things happened. And so, yeah, hope you had a good time. And until next week, all I have to say is can't wait to bark at you. Well, I won't be I'll be barking with Hey Esker and Barely next week.
That's true.
So
That's right.
until then, have a nice week and stay furry. Moobarkfluff.
Barely Furcasting is an Injured Nerve studio production and is found on all major podcast platforms or can be heard directly at barelyfurcasting.com. The opinions expressed here are those of the hosts and their guests, and no commercial compensation was granted. The Furcast is produced, recorded and directed by Barely Normal, aka Mike Began, and is edited by Barely and our associate editor Rain Raccoon. Opening and closing theme music, as well as some interstitial music, was created for Injured Nerves Productions for the use on the podcast by Reg Day with Damian Tanuki. If you would like to hear more music by Reg Day, you can search for Tweezerbeak on Bandcamp or Hoop Loop Tunes on SoundCloud. Other interstitial and background music by Shane Ivers through silvermansound.com, Gator Tots on soundcloud.com, and the YouTube Free is library. Social media presences is maintained by Ziggy the Mean Weasel. Transformation Station is written and directed by Lux Operon with Rain Raccoon and is edited by Rain Raccoon. If you would like to send us a message, you can do so via email at barelyfurcasting@gmail.com or on our Telegram chat at BFFTchat, on Twitter, on our Facebook page, or on the barelyfurcasting.com webpage. You can help support the show through donations at ko-fi.com/barelyfurcasting or through Patreon at patreon.com/barelyfurcasting. Thanks for listening. We hope you come back and listen next week.